think digital, its preoccupation now is to give a good service to the people of Zambia.
For us, we only.
Thank you for tuning in to Liberation TV. Welcome to Society, which comes to you every Wednesday from 18 to 19 hours. And we are live on God TV channel 96, on Topstar channel 458, on Movie TV channel 43, as well as on our Facebook page, Liberation TV Zambia, and also on Twitter and on YouTube. And my guest this evening is Mr. Wilson Banda, who is the former Lusaka District PF chairman, and also contesting the same position in the forthcoming party elections in the Patriotic Front. Mr. Banda, welcome to the program once again.
Thank you very much, Kayumbo, and how are you?
Great, fine. And it's good to have you back to continue where we ended the other week when you invited you to come and explain your vision for the position of a district chair if elected in the forthcoming elections. And I think just to start our program, maybe an update on how your campaigns have been going.
The campaigns, although they are heating up, as you know, most of the districts, for example, in other districts they have finished.
Okay.
Well, remember Lusaka, and Lusaka, they are through with Kanyama, the wards, and they are through with Kabwata. I'm sure they will be going to another constituency. Probably next week we may, within I think specified time, will be through.
Okay.
So they are heating up slowly.
Okay.
And I think you have seen even at the province, there are new names which have come up now. So I think the game now is becoming very interesting.
Okay. And what is the ground feeling like? Don't you know? Because I think you've been on the ground trying to gauge, what people are saying, and also what is the ground like?
The ground, you see, the whole issue which is there, people are interested to see what you can do, and that has been more of an issue which has been in the ears or in the eyes of our members. Most of our members, what they want people who can perform. They are tired just to look at each other. They want to see that things are happening. Okay. Yeah, so I'm sure, as for me, I can tell you I'm not boasting, but to say the truth, when I was there as a chairman, that is what they have picked. I've seen that at a very short possible time when I was there, I did a lot of things, and the contact which I had with the grassroots, I'll give an example. The time when we were giving bicycles to the ward chairman, I managed to call them by their names. Even today, I think I still remember some of them. I can just be very few. I will tell you, for example, Chawama, in Ward 1, we had Mr. Miti. In Ward 2, there was Mr. Kavemba, Mr. Lungu, 4, Mutonga. If you come here in Kabwata, there was Kabwata Ward, there was Mr. Sakala, Divala, Mr. Jere, Kamwala, there was Chingwe, Mr. Kanyere Chilenje, and also Kamulanga, there was Kangwa. if you go to Kanyama, there was Mr. Lombe is great now. He died, and also Mr. Lengwe, and I've just forgotten the other man. If we go to Matero, 128, Mr. Wantu, there was Mr. Mwamba, Valupia, Vamulipa. Those people, some of them are still there. I wish now the beauty. Some of them are still there. Vamulipa, Black Sony, Mwanza, I think now is that constituency. So I can give you, I can go on. I know them. In Munali, the late Sakala, there was Wakunda, Mbewe, Gilbert Banda, all those, I can mention them. Even so, this is how I interacted with the grassroots. And also, the issue to do with the mobilization of the party and what accompanies with it. Normally you need to have vehicles for you to be more mobile. And that I did. I bought 10 of them. So it is something which everyone knows. So that is what they are comparing. They say, but this gentleman was just there for a short possible time. Now, if he was there for all these years, I think we would have been somewhere. So that is what they are looking at. Okay. There's nothing like it. That's why you have seen even in my campaign, when I come in here on this studio, I have nothing to talk about the other people. Because I don't want to talk about them. For what? I need to talk about what I did when I was there and what I can do now. Mind you, now I've come with a lot of planned thought.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Then you've mentioned the number of people that you said you worked with. Does that give you comfort to say, you have people that are behind you, people that believe in your vision that you had, and also which also you are bringing to the table in the forthcoming elections? So do that give you comfort to say, I did this when I was there for a short period of time, and you had people that had benefited in terms of mobility at ward and also vehicles at constituency levels? Does that make you confident to say, you pull through and emerge victorious in the forthcoming election?
I've met a lot of officials. Of course, I can't mention their names. Okay. I will tell you, for example, some of these who are in these constituencies and these wards, whatever I was mentioning, some of them are still there. Okay. I can give you a lot of names, even at the constituency level. I will tell you that, for example, in Mandela, Joseph Tamba was the vice chairman to the late Makasa. I was the chairman. I worked with him. We go to Munali, Forbes was the secretary to Mr. Mwenya. Mwenya, when he was appointed to go to Zimbabwe, there was a controversy. There was another man called Wenshi, whom I appointed to act. But all in all, things didn't go the way supposed, because how he exhibited something which we did not like. So we decided that no, let them go for election. So Forbes came to be chairman under my eye. Lusaka Central, Sukutano, who is the current chairman now, although now I've been told he is not going to contest. It took me, and there was a big controversy, for him to get there. But I managed to convince everybody that he can make a good leader. So I can give you a lot of examples here where with Survanja I worked with him. Even the current chairman who is there, he was a councillor here in Kamulanga, and his secretary, who is Mr. Mwansa, he was in Kamulanga as a secretary. So we all worked with all those, the youth chairman, Venetisha, all those, I can mention them. Okay. So I'm not a new person to them. They know me very well, and they know what I'm capable of doing. So that is what is making my friends to be having a very tough time.
Okay. Now you've mentioned the issue of mobility, which you did in a few months that you were in office, and also I think I witnessed the issue of also intervening in a number of issues where some people are displaced from their homes by some people. Now, apart from what you did when you were district chairman, 2014, 2015, if I'm not mistaken, what other new ideas are you bringing to?
That is 2012, 2015.
Yeah, 2012, 2018 years. What other idea are you bringing, to the district? That people now dreams. Okay, Mr. Panda, during your time you did this and that and that, but times have changed. So what other things are you bringing in, new ideas, to the district?
Kege, I can tell you now, Kayombo, that that was my first time to be the DC chairman. And what I did was to come up and start thinking, being creative a bit and whatever. But this time around, what I've done, I've come prepared, because I know that the demand is so high, and I know that that's what they want, the people, the grassroots, that's what they want. So also I was not there to sit. I had to come up now to say, no, last time the way I did, I want to do it perfectly now. So I had to come up with a document, I'll show you, this is the document which I've come up with, This is the document, you can see. This is a document which is, I'm calling it 90 Days Economic Saving Plan. This is Lusaka, Patriotic Front, PF, Lusaka District. Now, what is it, what is there? It's, I am a self-believer to say, us as an organization, we can get together and work very hard and change the life, our lives and the life of our members. Because the good way is that our leaders are committed. Are you seeing? Our superiors are committed to hard work. So us who are in the structures, we need to emulate our leaders by bringing up good programs which is going to actually help our members, especially the youths and the women, and the general membership of our members. I will tell you that Lusaka district has got 7 constituencies, 33 wards, and each ward has branches, and those branches were got even sections, Now you can see, if you have to grow the party, we need to come up with programs which are very radical to start empowering all our members, and that is what is going to help us to grow the party. Because most of these people, some of them, I will tell you one thing. We don't want to see a situation like you have heard some results like in Southern Province, where you find it's in a constituency and you have those results. Now we start to wonder that we have our members 24 of a constituency, and probably find that those people haven't voted. So we start to wonder what is happening, because probably we are not in touch with our grassroots. You know what? In the case of Southern Province, and the other cases are very much obvious. It's dominant with our colleagues. But where we have dominance, like in Lusaka here, we need just to have people who can be good mobilizers, good initiators of programs. Since there is goodwill from our higher authorities, that is going to help us to accelerate our program, and we'll be there. And this will make the party very attractive. Although it's still very much attractive, but it will increase.
I'll still come back to that issue later on. Now, you mentioned the issue of grassroots mobilization. I remember the Secretary General at one point did mention that the new leaders that will be elected, both at district, constituents, ward, and the provincial, that they should focus on, party mobilization and growing numbers in not just here in Osaka, but even other branches and district officials in other parts of the country. Now, you are a good grassroots mobilizer, and you know what programs have you put maybe in your plan? I don't know if it's there, but also maybe what that you put in place to ensure that all those at branch or section level, they don't feel left out in the programs, you know, to do with the party in Osaka district. Because at the time you find that the focus is on constituency chairman, councillors and ward officials, but those at the lowest sections level, they are left out in the planning and also implementation of certain programs. What programs have you put in place to ensure that the grassroots, those that are on the ground, mobilizing the party, are included in all the programs at district level and also coming down to constituency and also what else?
I'll tell you that this program is targeting all officials. So when you talk about officials in Osaka district, you start with the district committee, which is 24. Then you go to all constituencies, the constituency committees, which are 7. Then you go to the ward committees, which are how many? 33. From there, each ward has a number of what? Branches. And those branches also have got a number of sections. Now, those, we call them officials of the what? Of the party in the district. Now, in the plan, the way we have put it, the way I'm bringing it on the table, it will go in phases. Because when we look at the numbers, if, for example, we are going to have 100,000 membership, which is a great number, a good number, if that's our target. But maybe, according to what you have put, we may want to start with, say, for the 2,000 membership in Osaka. That is coming up to the branches there. So, if each ward will have branches of a number of, say, 50 or so, we can come to those numbers. Now, even more. Now, the thing is that these people will be actually very much involved. Now, when we come to the details of how we are going to implement this program, that's where everybody will be very much involved. Because we are going to have meetings. There will be consultative meetings, mind you. How now I will have to be availing the details of the plan. Meanwhile, I'm just giving a guide. So meaning that within 90 days, that program has to quick start. And everyone has to see that things have started. So the first thing which we are going to start is to start having consultative meetings with all our leaders in the constituencies, wards, and so on. From there, we have even a seminar, because there are even people, technocrats who are involved, some people with different skills. So to come and start talking about how we are going to implement and how we are going to do it, because it's well structured.
Obviously, this plan will require the issue of resources to be implemented. And you mentioned the issue of seminars and other programs, and also to do that thing of consulting, other stakeholders, to require financial resources. Is there any program that you might consider, not just to rely on the secretary to give you funds to fund this program? Do you have any other means of raising resources?
Comrade, I'll tell you, comrade, that when I bought those vehicles, those bicycles and all those programs we are doing and all that empowerments we are doing, you remember that we used to have meetings in hotels, even in consultative meetings we used to have them. But did we get money from the secretariat? No. This party, it is their members who support it. So our strength is the membership. That is our strength. Because when we come with programs which are making sense, everybody will buy into the plan. So the thing is, you need to have a plan before you even think about money. You know, this issue of just thinking about money, because you will think about money, okay, let's have 25 million. 25 million, they bring 25 million here, and you don't have plan. What do? You cannot even implement the things properly. But the phase, which is very, very important, is to have a plan. That's why even the Bible says, my people are perishing because they don't have what? They are perishing, they don't have what? Vision. So a vision is some kind of a plan. You know? It could be a long, it's a short-term, long-term plans and whatever and so on. It's just by time. You know what I mean? So you need to have a plan. So like this, even when we get to the office, we know where we're starting from. Because I can tell you, we have a lot of organized youths. Mark my word, the word which I've used organized. So if you have youths who are already organized, it's not very difficult to empower them because they're already organized. You know, what is so difficult is when you are not organized. I will tell you, if you go, did you see there were some clips which Davy, who is the leader of the youths in Soweto, the city market, Soweto there, Soweto market. There were a lot of youths which the number of youths he was addressing. That was to show you how they are well organized. So it's very easy to take the data. We can know their numbers. Let's talk about intercity. These are just special branches I'm talking about. Let's talk about intercity. Also, they are well organized. They are very easy. Downtown, Lima Tower, city market itself. You can mention McKinney, what even in those areas and so on. They are well. Now, when we talk about the youths now, from the district youth chairman, with all his groups up to the section, we are all well organized. So how do we fail to implement our people? Because they are there, we can see it.
Okay.
So this is the kind of a thing.
Okay. Now, I think sometime early last year, up to somewhere in December, we did witness the National Youth Chairman, Honorable Stephen Kampyongo, going in all the constituencies in Lusaka, I think part of Copper Belt, to empower youths with funding. Others were doing, like the case of Kanyama, that said they want to do block making. Others, like in Mandevu, they chose to do car washes and everything. Now, how are you going to fit in with maybe the youth chairman at both district and provincial to ensure that that thing is a continuous process with the plan that you have? There's somewhere also where we are going to start from. How are you going to fit in into all those already existing projects which have been initiated by the National Youth Chairman, Mr. Kampyongo, and the other those that were there in the dissolved Provincial Executive Committee? How are you going to fit in to ensure that there is continuity of such projects that you will find already running before you start to implement the new ones under the 90 days economic saving plan?
The 90 days economic saving plan is the 90 days, within 90 days to start, people to start seeing the results, our own members at the district. Now, those programs which are already there, which the Honorable, I saw that they were giving some money which they had raised. Those are good programs. And those will fit in automatically, because among those projects, that is there. So it is very easy, because the youth chairman is there, and all the youths are there, and we are doing. It's a question of just coming on one round table, discuss, and see how we can improve, and see how we can do the extra empowerment to them, so that actually now it can come at a larger scale.
Okay. You are still watching the society, which comes to you every Wednesday from 18 to 19. and my guest is Mr. Wilson Banda, who's aspiring to contest the seat of the Lusaka District PF Chairman right here in Lusaka. And our topic is intra-party democracy, as well also the plans that he has for the people of the Lusaka District and selected as a Lusaka District Chairman. And we are live on GoTV, channel 96, on Topstar 458 and Movie TV 3. We're also live on our Facebook page, which is Celebration TV Zambia. And you can send your SMSs to 0978 43 74 37, 0978 43 74 37, just to get to interact with us. And also maybe if you have any question for my guest this evening. Now, Mr. Banda, the elections obviously comes with a lot of challenges. There's those that will not make it, they might want to, maybe just keep quiet or just be in the background. Now, do you think these coming district elections in the inter-party level at the PF will unite the party after the elections?
In fact, in my case, I'm looking at the issue of uniting it even before and after.
Okay.
How do we do it? I'll tell you one thing. I want to ask most of our colleagues in constituencies, those who are contesting at ward level, constituency, and also at the district. You know, the elections, you can know that these elections I'm not winning. Are you getting the point? I'm not winning. So if you are not winning, there is a need of harmonizing. Because it won't be good. You go just because somebody has told you, no, you are winning. You go there and stand and you lose. After you lose, you are now become a spectator. You get a point? Because the ground, if you are really a good politician, it has to tell you. It's just like the other opposition political parties which I know. Ndafirapi ni walanda wataela tasi and go. Watahali sure kuti waimini na wawina. In Zambia. No, maybe we have got different eyes and ears. So those are the things, because you have to be very factual. You get the point? So this is what I want even to urge my colleagues. For example, my colleague has been there at the district. Has been there at the district. And most of the people have done the comparison. That the time I was there and the time he has been there, of course, he cannot deny that he cannot beat my record. That is very much understood in plain black and white. Even himself, he knows. So, those issues, when we come to campaign, this is the thing which those people want to hear. Now, if you don't have anything to offer, which you have failed to offer, the best, I'm officially here, for the sake of unity, inviting my colleague to want to work under me. Let him come and work under me, so that probably can also learn one or two things. I'm not saying I'm the best, but for sure, people have compared that, I've made the comparison that no, actually, it's a tested leadership. So I love my brother. For me, I like everyone, even those others who want to try and whatever. No, I can just ask my brothers, come, we work together. If you can maintain that position of yours where you are, but he can work. He can choose whether to come as a vice chairman or whichever position he may want. You know what? But if he chooses to say no, he can work under me and be the vice chairman, so that we put up a very strong team for the benefit of our party. So that we can take our party to the highest levels. He has been there. Also, he may have one idea or so, but it may not be to the satisfaction of the grassroots. So, me who is having more support because of what I did, it will be good for him to come closer so that I become a mentor I start giving him, we sing the ideas and we go, so that probably one day I need to graduate and maybe be at another level. Then he can continue and do a good job and become a very good leader. But the problem which we have, we don't have humility. I will tell you one thing. For me, when I came in, there were a lot of people trying to push me, stand as a provincial chairman. Even now, there are people who have been calling me. Even I can show you some text messages for yesterday. When they were actually advertising this program, I will be on this program. Someone whom I know very well said, no, you deserve to be the provincial chairman. But I shouldn't be swayed with such information. What I need to do is to bring myself down a bit and try to do and prove to my colleagues that actually I can do better. Then it is their authority who are going to even see, and even the grassroots to say, I think this man is deserved. Then that can happen. But at the moment, since there is this, I want to focus here, and I will end here. And those who are competing at the province there, for me, I can work with everyone. Whoever wins, I work with everyone. That's why even down in the constituencies, the ward, me, I don't belong to any group. Because I've heard about, there's this group, whatever. Me, I don't have any group. All of them, the PF members. And for me, my allegiance is the president and the party. So I can work with everyone. If he wins to be constituency chairman, I work with him 100%. If the other one loses, then it is the issue which I'm talking about that they didn't agree. Because they needed to agree. If you see someone that, this one, it's better to agree. So this is why I'm actually officially offering my brother, Stanford Kayami, to come and work with me. He can work under me.
Now there was
I love the brother.
Okay. Now coming to the issue of your eligibility, after you were hosted from the position during that time, you were briefly left to join the NDC, then you came back to the ruling party, and there are those that are saying no, but this person came in this was 6th April back to the ruling party, and they are saying that he's not eligible to contest any position in the Patriot Front. Maybe after 3 or more years, according to, I don't know what your party constitution says, but they are saying you're not eligible to contest because you had briefly left the PF to join the NDC, and then you are back again.
Then Rainbow.
Yeah, Rainbow, NDC, and then the SG had welcomed you back at a Karaf function at the party secretariat on the 6th of April this year. Now, maybe try to shed more light on your eligibility to stand, and also is that talk, is it anyway giving you shivers to say
no,
disadvantage you
no,
in scooping
listen,
the position as a district chairperson?
Listen, I'll tell you, that is coming from my opponents.
Okay.
My opponents have been threatened. They know that they cannot stand the pressure. When you start talking about the other candidate of eligibility and whatever, that sends the sign of defeat. You get the point? Because it shows that you can only win if he's not around. I'll give you these examples. How did I think you remember the late Michael Sat, the MMD, that to go and have what is that, a conference where they wanted to buy him on the basis of age, and that clause was actually supported by UPND because that was the only way they can get it. You get a point? But you know how God works. The one who was standing now in 2011 was actually much older than Mr. Sata. So that clause couldn't go because there was somebody who was actually going to be needed to be accommodated. Not only that, even today, You have heard the issues to do with our president. No, it's not eligible. It's what. It's just fear. Because they know that when he's there, they can't win. That's the truth of the matter. But the issue is that 2021 is our candidate. And now, on my part, I'm very much eligible. Very much eligible. Let me tell you, I have read the Constitution myself. You know, don't forget, I was a district vice secretary before I became secretary, up to the time I became chairman. So, I'm a person who used to read a lot of document. I've got a lot of documentation for PFA. You know, the disciplinary code, whatever, which was written by Winter Kawimba and Dr. Simbiakula, all those, you know, and also the others which they were actually devised and so on. The Constitution, what it says? It says, the way I left in 2014, December 16th, I left the party. Now, the Constitution says, if you want now to be readmitted into the party, to come back, you have to take 3 years to come back. You have to take how many years? 3 years to come back to be readmitted as a what? As a member. That's what the Constitution says. So, the issue there, also, the Constitution gives the power to the Central Committee and the President. In an event where this member writes a petition trying to plead to come back, blah, 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 and so on, the President and the Central Committee, they have the power or discretion to readmit that person into the party. Now, when you come and you are a member of the party, you enjoy the same rights with every member. Membership is equal. Whether you come today, or the other one came last year, or the other one whatever, mind you, me is not my coming. I've been there. I'm an old member. I just left. And that's where it was binding me to say, to come back is 3 years. And I took more than 3 years. Because it took 4 years for me to come back. So I qualified to come back. On the part of qualifying to come back. Now, once I'm admitted, I will refer you to the Secretary General's statement when he was receiving me on 60th. You go and download it, you can find it, where he said, here membership in PF is equal. You are free to contest any position. I'll give you an example. Sesho Banda is my colleague. Do you know that it's me who picked him when I was coming? I came with him, Sesho Banda. I told him, I said, you can't remain Bwana, let's go to our party. That is the party where you have been there. And the man who was doing these the issues to do with the data or whatever, you know. So, Sesho Banda is what? He's an MP now for Kasanengo, isn't he? So, when he was admitted, he was free to contest any position. That's why he had to apply. And that's how he was picked. Honorable Mao Sampa also went to form his political party and went with the UPND and came back. And he applied as a mayor also. Even in Comrade Mulenga Sata, the very day he came, he even declared that he was actually free to stand. And no one said, no, he doesn't qualify, blah, 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 no. Others who just said, actually it was the timing, which was bad. But the truth of the matter, immediately he came that very day, he was right. Because he enjoyed the same rights, just like any other old member. You know, this party, if you mean, I'll tell you, I joined the PF in 2002. There are a lot of old members. And I've worked with Comrade Kampenge myself. Very old member. I know what he has done to the party, and I know other colleagues who have done extremely well in the party. So now what we are saying, Comrade SG, we are coming together with those people a long way. I can mention even that day I was mentioning names. A long way, including the president. A long way. So what we are saying that it's not a question of saying if we panel but if you cannot perform, you have to give room. And that's what the SG said. People will choose. And if anything, I will tell you, if anything, me, if I was a new member, I was not going to give a problem. Why should I give a problem to an organization which I'm new? Nobody knows me. The issue which is there, which all these pressures that are there, is because I'm an old member. And everybody, they know me. They know how Babanda is for bomb. And now I'm sure what Babanda is. But if for control.
So now,
to control.
Okay, now
control.
Such talks now, will it affect your campaigns towards re-contesting the seat? Are you in any way shaken that those talks going around in the Saka district trying to discredit the delegates to say is not eligible to contest?
No, everybody knows. Even the time they were receiving me, they hate. And they have got even the guidelines which were given by the Secretary General when we were at Nakatindi War. So it's not here and there. I will tell you, it's just one individual whom I know who has feared like anything. But this is why I'm saying, all those who are trying to fear, don't fear anything. I mean well. I want to work with you. Let's work together to grow this party. I know you can also perform on a certain position, but this one,
Okay. Now come to the issue of the pro-poor, which the PF says is a pro-poor party. Do you think it is still a pro-poor party, looking at a number of taxes being introduced, and the people in this country feel no, the PF is now slightly favoring the rich, instead of the poor, which it said it is a pro-poor party and pro-poor government. Do you think it's still a pro-poor party?
Kayombo. When you are called Kayombo from your childhood, when you are called Kayombo, have you changed your name? Are you not still Kayombo? You are still Kayombo. So what am I saying? The principle still remains the same. PF is a pro-poor party. That is what is in Constitution. So when certain measures which have been put for a certain goal which needs to be achieved, those are the issues which actually can be explained by the relevant department, and they will explain that, So the issues to do with the taxes, because as our slogan is lower taxes, more jobs and more money in your pocket. You see, that is the slogan which we have, which is in line with the vision itself, in line with the principle itself, as a pro-poor party. But when certain measures have been taken because of certain things, those they can be explained, well explained by the people who are handling them. For example, the Minister of Finance will be in a very good position to explain why those things have been tackled in that manner and what are we trying to achieve. And once we achieve, then everybody will be fine. That's how things are.
So you are still maintaining that PF is still a pro-poor party?
PF is still the pro-poor party. Okay. That is correct. No one can lie now from that. It's the only this party which is very much attached to the grassroots. Because I will tell you, that day when I was readmitted into the party, there was a woman who came from UPND, and Captain somebody. Now, that woman, she said where she comes from, it was declared a district, and she has seen massive development there, and that's what prompted her to say, I'm just wasting time, let's go and do development. So these things, I can tell you that also the media, probably on our part, they haven't done much to show what PF has done. I can tell you PF has done tremendously. They have done a lot of things in a very short time. 7 years. But look what the things which have been done. In 7 years. But look, emwe wa Kayumbu, ngamule kula. Sometimes ngamule fukulia na mayanko kwa every day. You get the point, huh? So all those things, but you may not even build. And at the end of the day, you have this talking who say time is going. No, time is not going. It is who is going. It is who is going. Because sooner or later you will realize that you are 60 and you haven't built yet. You know why? Because you don't want to save to take that man to other thing, whatever. So these are the things which normally happen. Okay. Some measures have to be put in place for us to achieve a certain goal.
Okay. Just read one message because I still have a lot of questions before we wind up. This one is coming from David Istinga, saying that good evening, Chair. We believe in what you say and what you do because you are a man of action. You managed to buy vehicles in all 7 constituencies and bicycles in 33 wards. You left the leaders in the party and we believe that you do greater things again. We will continue supporting our president and the party, PF and all leaders of the party who bring sanity and good leadership to our party. You are a good leader. This is David from within Lusaka. Okay. Maybe before we read more messages here, there's the issue of, like I said, the issue of high taxes and the anguish and complaints go around the compounds. Do you still think that the people in Lusaka district, they are still with the ruling PF and not with any other political party?
The things of what?
I'm saying like what I've mentioned. The first question I posed, the issue of the PF being a pro-poor party, and the anguish that you see in the faces of people when you go around some compounds. Do you think the PF is still popular here in Lusaka district, and what makes you think so?
I can tell you that the people understand. They do understand. You see, there is this issue which we have seen, or this kind of characteristics, by trying to paint things which actually are not the way they are. Today, we have heard from our technocrats, or even from our authorities, to say even our culture is performing badly because there are people who are insinuating that as if we are not in a stable state. You get a point? Those things are actually affecting our market. We are talking about businessmen who are always conscious with their investments. And if some people in the country who are not patriotic to Firire Munsenga, then which country are you going to govern? So those are issues where you find someone just coming up insinuating, say, there's anguish in the faces of the people. Bwana, have you ever seen anguish? Have you ever seen what is happening in Yemen? Have you ever seen what is happening in Somalia? Have you ever seen what is happening even in Nigeria, in those other parts which are being attacked by Boko Haram? Have you seen what is happening even when you look at in Central Africa? What is happening there? Have you ever seen what is happening? You see, when we try to compare certain things and read or even see, hear this kind of thing, I can tell you that that's when you can realize that I think we just have some individuals or some Zambians who don't mean well. Let's not generalize the situations. No. Yes, we agree. Things are not going to be smooth the way you may think. That's why I've told you that when it comes to issues of development, mind you, we have to move in the same way, in same accord, you know. When it comes to the issue of development, partisan politics aside, let's be patriotic. That's why we find we are saying we are patriotic front.
Okay.
We are patriotic members who are flanked.
Okay.
You know, we want to show patriotism first to our country. You know, I will tell you, how is it demonstrated by members of the Patriotic Front? Our father, the late Michael Sata, demonstrated that this party is all about being patriotic. What did we see? We saw this. Do you remember that ZLA went on strike and things were very tough for the MMD? They went on strike, and you know what it means when ZLA goes on strike? All the borders will be not operating. In terms of revenue collecting will be affected. But what did Michael do? Our leader, patriotic leader, he went to them and pleaded with them to go back for work. That's what he did. But if he was not patriotic, what would have happened? It was going to be Sky News, Al Jazeera, BBC, wherever all these stream lines media of our, this is for the bourgeoisie, to scandalize the country, that it was ungovernable, that now even if things couldn't work, the things whatever, and probably the investors would have even pulled out, and the country could have come to a standstill. So this is why you find others still wish to have that situation, that the country should come to a standstill where things should just, it's all about patriotism, Bwana. Nothing else. This is the only country we have. You, me, the other man, whoever, this is our country. When we want to do our politics, let's do our politics and compete for the position.
Okay.
But where it comes to the country itself, let's safeguard our country. It's very important.
Now, there have been a lot of allegations of corruption in the ruling PF. Do you think that will affect, the prospects of the PF retaining power in 2021?
How does it affect? Because these are instances which actually maybe certain individuals are going to answer to it. You know, I think you and me were aware that the investigation wings are busy investigating, isn't it? And some certain people, actions have been taken. So why should we get worried ourselves? For what? Because it is even good that if actions are being taken on certain things, that's fine. So for us as a party, our preoccupation will be to mobilize the party. That's our preoccupation, is to mobilize the party. The issues to do with government and how the issues controlling officers will deal with all these departments, that's why they are there. Those who will fail, the whip will be cracked. And those who will be found wanting, of course, the way things are happening, they'll find them. So, how does it affect the party? No, it doesn't affect us. Us, we are there to organize the party. Because it's not the party which has done that, Because if you find those individuals who have been incited in whatever, are they PF? No, they're not. They're not PF. What would we call them? Civil servant? Or probably what we call technocrats? Yes, they're not PF. They are people who are working for the country. And us, as the PF, who have actually formed this government, mind you, the state does not come with a party. That you should know. The state, I can lecture you on the state. The state is where I've got soldiers, whatever, or civil servants, whatever, and so on. And those people have been advised to be non-partisan. So they don't belong to any political party. So if those people have done wrong things, that's not PF. are the technocrats who need to be disciplined. That's all.
So in short, all these allegations which are getting to the people's minds, they don't affect the party.
The issue here, which I'm telling you, Keke, is the issue of insinuating and insinuating. You know what I mean? What we are talking about here is that when there are these issues, and we have got investigating wings, you know, people will investigate. Those who found wanting, we have heard the instructions have been passed. Those who be found wanting, then they have to answer.
Okay.
You know. So what I was trying is to distinguish, because the party and those who are doing that. Because if it was say it's the district chairman who found that he is the one who got the money for it, yes, we would have started to talking and that. No, that's a part of official who got the money. So that can affect us somehow. But also it's just an individual who needs to be sorted out, so that the party is removed. It remains on its own, because the party is an organization which needs to remain on its own. So this is the issue, because those who have and we have heard even the Minister of Education, whatever, those who are been suspended, some are directors probably, some are whatever and whatever. Are those directors the members of PAF? No. Probably others were even sympathizers of the other political party. How do we know?
All right, Mr. Banda, it has been a pleasure, talking to you once again regarding your aspirations to recontest your Lusaka district position, and all the best in the forthcoming elections at the district level, and hope that you stick to what you've told the people on this platform today and another week when you are here.
KK, that's why you heard that the other person said, we know you, they know me.
Okay.
You know, chintu mwenye, they know me. Because these people, I'm not new to them. I've done it, they've seen it with their naked eyes. And now they even believe more that we can do it. So this is the kind of a thing. What we need is just unity. So our appeal to all the members who are participating in this election, just to be sober-minded, and in the event that you participate and probably they lose, let's not have any grudge. Let them accept, and we move forward, because there will be no loser, no winner. The only thing is that we need to come with a very united force. That's why you saw I was actually giving my offer to my brother, that since him is a current district chairman now, so if he can be my vice, then we are making a very strong team.
Okay.
For example, if I give you an example, we have a coach today, not so. If Elena came, whom do you think will be the coach? If Elena came, whom do you think will be the coach? Elena will be the coach. What is the reason why? The reason that Elena brought a cup. He has shown us what he can do already. So we have to believe Elena that now he can even take us to World Cup. We believe him.
Thank you very much.
Thanks very much, KK. I'm humbled.
Thank you very much. This has been the society which comes to you every Wednesday between 18 and 19. And my guest was Mr. Gusson Banda, who is contesting the position of the Lusaka district chairmanship right here in Lusaka. So for me, Rabbi Kayombo and the entire production team, it's good night and God bless you. See you next week, same time. Bye-bye.
Claimed that we are forged signatures. Maybe you remember some of the
Worship and the body politic should not participate in partisan politics.
Pakateka now Kwaka Digital, its preoccupation now is to give a good service to the people of Zambia.